Today's video is sponsored by Game Nerds, the best place to buy all your sealed Digimon product, as well as other trading card games and for all your general gaming needs. And also by Inked Gaming, the best place to get your own custom playmats printed with the highest quality around. Links are in the description. What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I'm your boy Varney, and today we've got Michael and Daniel. How are you guys, you good fellows, sir?
I am tired.
Daniel? Man, you couldn't say Dan like the usual?
Daniel.
Man, he was like, I'm gonna say the full government version.
No.
He said Michael too. I was
Michael
like,
I know,
and
right?
Daniel.
Strange.
Y'all ending in the yols.
Yo.
Yols. Michael, Daniel. Y'all know what it yol is.
Yo, Varney.
Yovarnial.
Hey, yo, you're not a rapper. Realize that, buddy.
Today's I'm not a rap. Ooh. You know, this brings me back to remember when Super Hot Fire was a thing? I'm not a rapper, I'm not a rapper.
Oh my god.
Those videos were goated. Apparently yours. So let's see. Today we've got a fair bit to talk about. We've got locals, all know locals. We've got Dan's regional run because Dan was in regionals over the weekend. We've got some poll results, some Q&As to go over. And then y'all know week 7 of the Tamers Battle League happened last week, so we got to talk about that. And then we also had our, obviously, first regionals of BT13. So we've got some meta results to visit there. So to kick it off, as we always do, let's talk about locals. Locals was a very quick 3 rounds. I placed 4th, I think. Yeah. Dan, what did you place?
Second.
Oh, okay. I thought who won? It was Gallantmon that won because Gallantmon. Ray's going to be very happy to hear that Gallantmon won.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ray, I don't have a deck list for you, and I will not recommend a deck list to you either. I do have a deck list coming for you, though. I do.
I don't know
You're
who
gonna love it.
his
It's
first 2
it's a
rounds
lovely
are.
deck called Millith Loop.
That's not Gallup. I don't know what his first 2 matches were, but I played him in the 3rd round, quote unquote finals. Barney had a paradigm, so we may and may not have a 4th, which it just turned out to be the final. But what were you playing, Barney?
I played the lovely Royal Knights, the one of the only 2 decks I'll be playing for the rest of the format. And yeah, if y'all didn't know that Melga, yes, it was max rarity. Yes, thank you. Yes, if you would like to see a picture, it's on Twitter. So this is the part where I tell you to follow us on Twitter and also join the Discord because it's also in the Discord. If y'all didn't know that Melga was still a good deck, maybe y'all should know that Melga's still a good deck. I don't understand. We're not going to go too long on this because we got other things to talk about today. I don't understand what it is. Like, obviously, it's like, oh my goodness, this deck is nerfed. I'm dropping it. This deck got hit. I'm dropping it. Melga's hit took it from being like, it's still a little bit of an aggro deck. But the things that Melga is capable of doing are still stupid. It's still doing the same stupid stuff. And the realization that I came to, why I absolutely despise Melga as a deck. I don't hate Grandis. I don't hate Wargrey X. I don't hate any of the other X antibody decks. It's only Melga. You know what makes me hate that deck? Why is it that Wargrey X, the red deck, the destruction deck, the harbinger of chaos, has an end of attack to delete 1 Digimon with DP less than or equal to that Digimon's DP. And Melga on Digivolve can bounce all Digimon with the lowest level to your opponent's hand. Why is that? Why does it not just target 1?
Hey, if you had Omegamon,
Melga should be banned.
If you would have had Omekamon.
Only I had Omekamon. Melga needs to
Or
be banned.
Systemon.
This is the Garurumon card game. I don't want to hear anybody talk about the Greymon card game because this is not the Greymon card game. This is the Garurumon card game. It's about to get even more busted because we got that EX5 Melga X coming in, which is Ice Wall cracked on steroids. Like, I don't want to hear it. Garurumon card game.
So
Sorry.
they're gonna ban Melga X and they're just gonna put the new Melga X. I don't understand your point here.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just wanted to go on that little. I just wanted to go on that little rant. That was
He's just being salty at the moment because he back's ready to roll a knife just to lose to Melga that's been nerfed.
Yeah, just to lose to a deck that's arguably
just to lose to a
worse.
nerfed deck, right? Exactly.
Hey, it's all right.
It's all right though.
I had
That was
Shine
my-
Greymon. I had Shine Greymon. I lost to Galamon somehow. So,
Bad
bricks are a
player do
thing.
bad things.
Hey, how'd that one happen? What happened with that? I want to hear about this.
I game 1, I beat him in like 5 minutes. Shine doing Shine things, and then game 2 and 3, the deck refused to work with me. I legit didn't find anything. I was like, I had one rookie. I was like, all right, cool. And then I would like search or something. Get no Marcuses. Play Geo Gray to search security. No Marcuses. And then that stack died because Growlmon can blow things up. And then I was like, well, I got no more Agumon. And I didn't draw into a single Agumon. I legit drew into probably all Greymons at one point. I was like, yeah. While he's milling me, so like that I was like, oh, this is gonna help. Cause like the first 3 mills were like Greymon, and I marked, so I was like, not a problem. Another 2 mills. Shine
Damn,
and
he was playing
Shine
the
and
mill
Rise.
variant.
He was like Shine and Rise. I was like, no problem. Let me just get to Agumon. My draw will still arise or something like that. I was like, that's just how it is. And that was legit my game 2 and 3, and that's how I lost. But Locals was a weird time. We had Gallon winning. Second place was Shine, which was me. And then you got Melga at 3rd. Like, it's just a weird ass Locals Sunday.
So what I just heard was that Shine is not the best deck in the format.
Awful deck. Terrible deck. Don't
It's
play
like
it.
the worst deck.
Oh.
It's like, I don't even know what all the hype was about, right?
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't even bother playing it.
I wouldn't either.
Well,
Galmon confirmed best deck in format.
No.
the results
no
say
protection,
otherwise.
No protection, no trash. You know.
The results say otherwise. If y'all didn't know, PPG had their online webcam regionals this past weekend. It was a Belphemon winning deck, and there were a total of 3 Shine Greymons in the top 16, with the highest placing Shine Greymon in 4th place. And yeah, Shine Greymon is not the best deck in the format because it didn't win the first event of the format. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know? Because it didn't win the first event, it's not the best deck in the format. Oh my goodness,
What are
Dan.
you talking about? It won
What
the
did you play
Oceania.
for regionals?
It won the Oceania Regional. That's the first BT13 event. American. I mean, not American, but English event. So it's already got a dub, but people forgot that exists, even though it's a regional.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. I also forgot that existed, but you know, it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter, right? Because apparently,
it's
you
not
know,
in America.
I mean, not in America, right? Because at Oceania, they had 5 tops. Winner was Shine Gray, as Dan said. Second place was Shine Gray, but it's not the best deck in the format, guys.
To be fair, it is the best deck in the format, I still think. But also, other decks that also topped 3 times. We got 3 Hunters in top 16, which is cool, and 3 Royal Knights, which is cool. It was a very diverse top 16.
We had 9.
Black War Grey X
decks.
took a spot. Blue Flare took a
9
spot.
decks.
Old Force and Alphamon. So
Yes, sir.
honestly, pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. I still think Shine's the best deck in the format. I don't think I don't know. I kind of like alluded to it before, but I don't really know if it needs to be hit right now. We'll see what happens with it. It is still really strong. We'll see. It's such a small sample size. Can't go off of it just yet. Only 2 regionals. So we'll see what comes. There's another regional this next weekend. Me and Dan are both
There's
participating in it.
4 major events this
Oh yeah,
weekend.
there's a bunch
3,
of
all the Gen
yeah,
Con
it's like
events,
right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday regionals, and then a Sunday Ultimate Cup, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, me and Dan are participating in the Saturday regionals.
So there's a lot of data to come out this weekend. But Dan, what did you play? How did you place?
Yeah, so I played Sean Greymon. Best second format. I got, unfortunately, 19th place. I got bumped
What
out.
eggs did you use, Dan?
Oh, the best eggs.
What
for
eggs did
Sean
you use,
Greymon.
Dan?
Yellow eggs. Yellow eggs. Best eggs confirmed for you for Sean Greymon. I placed 19th. I did really well, and then I lost the last round, which bumped me from 5th to 19th because tiebreakers. But overall, did pretty well, I guess. Let's see. Round 1, I played against a Mirage, won that 2-1. Mirage game 1, got it rolling. Yeah, I couldn't really do anything because didn't see the right pieces. You need in that matchup, you want to see the more OTK version instead of like control, which like I think you would say like the BT13 one is more Shine is more control-ish because of the effect you can do with Marcus. Use BT13 Marcus as a neg 9 when blocking, which is pretty good at times. And then game 2 and 3, I won. Game 3, I had a miraculous comeback. Some might say, specifically that Mirage player. Mans put me under ice wall. He had Mirage Galga stack. I had 2 Marcuses in the BT12 Marcuses with a Geo Greymon raised. I made both of them Digimon, so it cost 2. Mind you, I'm under ice wall. Swim with Marcus. Evo to the BT12 Rise Greymon. Gained the memory, kept turn. Swim with Marcus. The second Marcus went to the BT12. Yeah. Shine Greymon. And with all the inheritables plus his effect, I was able to, plus the Koromon. The Koromon's will clutch. I was able to get rid of his stack, and then that was GG because he couldn't rebuild. And then he passed turn because of Ice Wall, obviously. But it was just perfect combo that just, But what else? Round 2, I think it was. I don't remember. Shine?
Bro, I never
Yeah, I
remember my
think I played
matchups.
I think I played the mirror, I think it was.
I think it might have been the mirror.
I 2-0'd that person. I learned very quickly how to deal with the Shine matchup, which is if they have a Geo Greymon out, ASAP killer, and you win. You know what I'm saying? And whoever gets Marcus control going, whoever gets multiple Marcuses like on board, fastest wins, basically, I feel like. Round 3 was my first loss, which was Black or Greymon. I won game 1, I think it was, or game 2, but the other 2 games, Hades Force is real. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard. It's a very hard matchup.
Did you just say that Hades Force needs to be banned?
Absolutely not. It's a good counter to Sean Greymon's a good counter to a lot of the meta right now. So then after
But
that,
Dan, it invalidates deck archetypes.
No, it doesn't. But anyways, we'll move on from those stupid comments that people have made in the past. So, I lost to Black or Greymon. Then I played Red Hybrid, 2-0'd him. Just did Shine things. I won. He was playing a different Red Hybrid build. He was playing with a Guilmon package, which was interesting. Don't know if that really helped him or not, but it helped him with the consistent drawing, so that's not too bad, I guess. After that, I played Machine Jumon, 2-0'd them. Again,
You 2-0'd the DP immune deck?
the DP immune deck that didn't get DP immunity at all. I legit Shine
That's
Room.
a travesty.
Sean Greymon Rumor Mode ruined his life because I went game 2 and just board control with that, and he couldn't raise or do anything with his stack in the back because it would have immediately died. What else? After that was another.
But Dan,
Shine.
ruin mode isn't a
No,
closer.
Oh no! If I didn't have Shine, I would have lost regionals. Yo, ruin mode was so clutch.
Ruin mode, yeah.
It won me the Machine Mode matchup. The next matchup I played was Belfmon, which was super clutch in. I won that 2-1. Like game 3, Ruin mode, I evo to Ruin mode. He could not raise his. I killed all his Digimon board. That was like the small ones, and he didn't have enough Gizumons to keep like going up the chain to like an XP to stay on board. So Belfmon couldn't swing twice, and then the following turn, I swung with Ruin mode, killed him, effect minus 5k, and I just board controlled him that way, and that's how I ended up getting that dub. What else? Played against another Shine mirror match. Ruin mode came up again, and then in round 8, that sounds round 8. Played Black or Greymon again. Lost 2-1. Yo, game 3, God was on his side. I got rid of a Black or Greymon X stack and a Metal Greymon stack in one turn. And my man still had everything to go to a new Black or Greymon X stack, and then went to Omni X for game. I was like, it ain't nothing I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it went.
Yeah, that's brutal.
The one thing I will say, I know I started noticing in this regional specifically, was how people started slow playing after they lost round 1. Game 1, I should say. Like, they were doing their plays, normal time and everything, and then all of a sudden, because they lost game 1, they tried slow play to like extend it, especially if like the game lasted 20 minutes or so or something like that. They was totally trying to extend it. I'm just like, bro, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna take a draw from me. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, but like that's just how I felt. Like, it was just so annoying because
we were doing so well.
I would have been in top 16. Like, I'm not like trying to like complain or anything, but it's just how like the game is. So like, I would have been top 16 if 3 people ahead of me didn't have draws. So, you know, it is what it is. I should have won my games, but like, hey, it is what it is type of thing. I don't know what band I can do.
Do you think it's like you think it's like a confidence thing? Like, you beat them so fast that like first round that they like started overthinking their plays, and that's why it was like kind of like a slow play kind of deal?
I don't know. I can't say that for everybody. I especially like some of the games that lasted like longer than like 10 minutes. I had a round, kid you not, which it was against the mirror. I won in 20 minutes flat. Game 1 and 2. I had 30 minutes to spare, and overtime I had like 45 minutes to chill, do nothing. But those other games that made it last a little longer, and it was just like, I don't know, it just felt a little different. You know what I'm saying? I can understand maybe you want to make sure you do the right plays, but like, if you just take it more than 30 seconds to go to a Metal Greymon to a Metal Greymon X, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just using that as an example, but like, we're in a meta where I feel like
I think it's a valid point.
We're in a meta where like ties shouldn't be happening, I don't think, at all, really. I mean, outside of the Secon player.
So I think one of the biggest issues, obviously, like the biggest issue right off the bat is the fact that it's like, for North America, it's like, it's not release weekend, but it's first major tournament after release. So there's a lot of people who don't know the cards. They're learning their own effects, they're learning opponents' effects. And, you know, for players like us who have been playtesting like all hell, you know, it just comes like this for us, but for some other people it doesn't. I think that's one big thing, but I do think that like the other big issue, like not even looking at what might be causing people to necessarily slow play or not go as fast as they could, I think it's just the fact that the game has evolved to such a point where I just don't think 50-minute rounds are enough. Some places do 45 minutes with 5-minute time, and some places do 50 minutes with 5-minute time. We for our tournaments do 50 minutes with 5 minutes time. And that's a discrepancy. Like, I can't remember when I was reading the TRM what exactly the rules were. I think that's actually why I had started with 45 minutes and then 5 minutes time. But that goes by so quickly. Like, it's easy for a game to take 20 minutes. So it's just as easy for a game to take another 20 minutes. Then that leaves you with what? 5 minutes to finish a match, or 10 minutes with the 50-minute time. I think we're at a point where games need to be able to go 55 minutes, even up to an hour. Maybe not an hour, but 55 minutes with 5-minute time. Just because, I mean, the shitty part is that plays into like the slower deck strategies, such as like SecCon. But I don't know. I don't have a better solution.
I don't know. I'm indifferent on raising the time because I think Magic does 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's best usually whoever wins 2 rounds, and then after that it's 50 minutes. And then after, I think it's 5 turns. You take 5 turns, and then it's draw after. So I don't really know if it needs to be 50 minutes, but I do notice that some tournaments there's a ton of draws sometimes.
Yeah.
So much. It's kind of
I don't
on
know.
the ridiculous side. Like, I don't like.
Especially,
I don't know what the fix is.
During like, I think again it's like what Varney said. People not knowing their decks right, maybe. Like, if you guys remember, like during like when Bielsamon was top, there were so many draws.
Yeah.
That tournament was crazy with draws. With that first
Bielsamon
like tournament.
I'll just
like, I might get flamed a little bit for this one, but if you're in a regional, you're planning to be in a regional, you should be learning your cards on a local level or play testing. So by the time regionals come around, you know where things are happening. Like, if you're in a regionals and you're asking a million and one questions about every single card, I can understand some cards here and there you might know, like I don't know all of Mirage's effects, so I'm just like, can you just tell me real quick? And it should be a 2-second conversation. Explain the card, you know what the card does. I shouldn't have to explain the card and then explain what it does again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be a thing in a regional level setting. I don't care if it's the first regional or not. Like, there should be some type of knowledge of what each card does. Like, if you're playing against Royal Knights, I know Royal Knights has a lot of effects and stuff, but you should have an idea of what cards do. Lord Knight, for example, she grabs the ones from the trash. You know Dynasty's just searcher. You know Omekamon was the draw one or something like that. I don't remember what Omekamon does. But you know what Omnimon's supposed to do. Like, the base idea, you know Jess is gonna blow things up. What's the DP level of the blow up? But you should know that. You know Craniomon's the blocker. You should know, like, these things, the bare minimum at least is something. And not go into a regional and not know it, and you gotta tell your opponent has to explain every single card. Like, you gotta know, you gotta have some type of knowledge about the game. And that's why I think Belfmon won, right? I think Belfmon won because people didn't know Belfmon was as good as Belfmon is. And again, that's
I got the perfect thing to say. I'm not discrediting George. George is an amazing player to take
he balled out because he knew
and win with Belfmon. He is amazing.
Didn't know what to do.
But I was just about to say, we were talking about this in the Discord today. So shout out to Brady, Mythios, and the others who were in this conversation. One of the biggest reasons that I think that Shine didn't win this weekend or
everybody knows the
better
Shine does
is because people don't know how to play the deck. And Mike has been reiterating this. I don't even know how long Mike's been saying this, but not only does everybody know, I think that's the problem. Everybody has this preconceived notion about what Shine does, and they think it's this, I'm gonna raise and then I'm gonna take out 5 security in one turn and then leave you to respawn next turn type deck. If you're playing the deck that way, you're playing it wrong. That is the wrong way to play the deck. Like, if you see the combo, that's all fine and dandy, but if that's the only thing that you're going for, no wonder you're losing. No wonder the deck isn't going well for you. Shine Greymon is a deck that it's very aggro, but it's also very efficient at what it does. And you have to be smart about how you're playing the deck, because doing things at the wrong time or sequencing things in the wrong way is what will lose you the game. And I can guarantee you more often than not, that's why people lost with Shine Gray. I read a comment, I think it was on Reddit or Facebook, can't remember where a person talked to George, the winner who won with Belfamon, and George said, yeah, the Shine players I played against didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, I saw that comment too, Varney. He said that if he had played, like, he played a lot of Shine players, he said if he had played against good players, he doesn't think he would have beat them, because Shine has such a, like, not that it has like a crazy good matchup into Belfamon, but like Shine realistically shouldn't lose that matchup as often as it did. Exactly. I saw the same exact comment. I don't know how true it is that person talked to George.
Yeah, like I'll take that with a grain of salt.
That could just be some dude on Facebook bullshitting, you know what
exactly.
I mean? Unless if George actually commented and confirmed that, that's one thing. But yeah, I saw the same exact thing. I was thinking in my head. I was like, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense, because I mean, the playtesting I've done, I didn't really run into issues with Belfamon against it. And not that deck can't just pop off and murder you, because it totally can. And I think it's also Belfamon's not an easy deck to play either. Yes, so I'll say that. I think it's a lot more,
it's another sequencing deck and combo deck.
Very nuanced. And I think that when you play someone that's really good at the game with Belfamon, you're probably gonna get caught off guard, right? It's we've talked about this in the past. Like an average Shine player can do really well because the deck is really good, but a really good Shine player is gonna fucking murder you, right?
Brings us back to the Beelzemon topic.
And I think like Belfamon, like, people don't realize how good it can be because it takes some extra thinking. I don't think it's as hard to play as like Lilithloop was, or even the new, like,
even the current Lilithloop.
Yeah, like Lilithloop,
insane.
You know what I mean? But like Belfamon takes some skill, like some serious skill. So hats off to George for taking that dub, because it's not an easy deck to pilot. It's not an easy deck to pilot to 8-0 either. But yeah, I think there may have been, you know, like, it is what it is. But yeah, hats off to him, because that's a hard deck to play.
It's phenomenal nonetheless, and yeah, it's a purple deck, and it's.
I think I'm pretty good at
natural Digievolution deck.
I'll say this: I think I'm pretty good at Digimon. Like, I think I'm pretty good. The first time I played Belfamon, I was like, I have no fucking clue what I am doing at all. Like, I was like, shit. I guess I really gotta fucking figure this out, because it's not as straightforward as, you know, you might think.
That's why it's funny. Like,
it's easy to take the deck, and
when I played against the Mirage player, I don't know if it's that he played a lot of other Shine players, and he was like, "Damn, you did things that like normal Shine players wasn't doing." So I was just like, "Oh, I appreciate it." Like, he was like, "Yo, you're probably like one of the better Shine players I've seen play with the deck." I was just like, especially when I comboed out of Ice Wall, and that's, you know, that turn I won. And it shows when I was playing the mirror match, because you know, I would purposely play Agumon, and then, like, especially if I'm going first, I will bait out their Agumon and them playing their Geogreymons or whatever, so then I can do like a Marcus plus -2 Agumon, so their stack is gone immediately. Now they're stuck taking their Agumon from raising and using that, and instead of having it as a resource in the back, because, you know, especially I don't know if y'all like how y'all like to play your Shine, but like, I like to have the Searcher Agu, and then the one that lets you make a Marcus into a Digimon in the back, chilling in the back the whole time usually. And so he has to raise that Agumon and use it as a source for evoing and stuff. And now that puts him in a situation, because if I take that stack out, he might not have another Agumon in hand to just, you know, raise in the back or something, or just in general, right? So like, I noticed that immediately, because like, everybody was trying to do like the Wombo combo. I'm just like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just how it was sometimes. And then after that, I got rid of stack. Cool. Now I'm gonna try to OTK you. I'm gonna go Rise Greymon, play another Marcus, put you to 1. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do anything? Cool. I'll raise my Marcus, go to Shine Greymon, you know, the full wombo combo shenanigans. Now I'm raising that second Agumon because that's again people say that 5-card combo, right, for the OTK. Nah, bro, if you had that shit chilling in the back, you gonna have that 6 swing for game, and people don't realize that. Like,
Yep.
And so there's so many times you go.
That's
burst
exactly.
mode,
I did the same
play
thing.
Marcus, and then like you know what I'm saying you just free Evo and just cause you need to draw sometimes. So just like it's just how it goes, and it's just people just don't realize that sometimes.
Yep. I also gotta say, I don't think people realize how good Ruin mode is. I think people know now. Like
Now
I'll
they
say
do.
that.
Do you
I
see
think
the
people know
price of
now.
that card?
Yeah, the price is cracked. But 2 of the 3 decks that made top 16 for Sean Gray were playing Ruin mode, and I think that card is like so pivotal, especially in the Mira. Like, bro, like that card in the Mira is so good, dude.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
All you can do is digivolve in the back or play another Marcus.
Yeah,
You can't.
so-
You're locked out of your turn.
Yep. Nah, it's hella good. I don't know. I'm excited to see what the regional results are for this upcoming week now. I'm excited to see the changes people will be making with their decks. I hope that the meta stays this diverse. Because I like
Well,
diverse.
we'll talk about the meta. Hold on. We out here talking about the main topic. Like 15 minutes into pod. Like hold up, fellas.
15. We are
first-
31 minutes.
Exactly. We just spent the last 15 minutes talking about this, you know? But first, I got a bone to pick with Dan because I was right. So we asked the audience, we polled the audience. We said, which Royal Knight member is more like Batman, Leopardmon or Alphamon? And the results show Leopardmon has 4 votes. Alphamon has 6 votes. But there was a
That
third
was
option
Mike.
which said neither, and 4 people did say neither. So
Yeah, I was
That
the one that
wasn't
said
me.
Leopardmon was more like.
both of you, it was both of you. But sorry, yes, it was Mike. You
But
tell
also,
Mike.
all those people are wrong
Goldfish
and need to go read DC comics. So, although I do get the sentiment that like Alphamon's like the leader. And
Would it be
I guess-
better if we named it like Naruto and Sasuke? Is that
Well,
what
the
would
issue
make
is that,
this
like,
better?
I don't know. It's just like
Batman
Batman.
is Naruto and freaking Alphamon is Sasuke. Is that better for you?
Absolutely not.
I don't really
Wait.
know all that much.
Wait, you said Naruto is Leopardmon?
Well, so
Don't get me started on Naruto, bro. I don't
Yo,
want to
please
get
don't.
into it.
Please. Don't do that for us.
I'll hurt some people's
No.
feelings right now. So don't get me started on that.
Outside of that, we didn't get any responses to our Q&A because nobody felt strongly enough about our argument.
What was the
chip
argument?
in. Oh,
What's
I
the
just
Q&A?
asked I asked them what Royal Knight members were equivalent to what Justice League members, and everybody said, "Yeah, no, fuck you, buddy. We don't care about that."
To be fair, bro, the way Warner Brothers disrespected DC for the last 10 years of my life, I don't blame them either.
So there's that. We don't have any comments because, well, I mean, we have some comments, but
Hey,
you know,
yo,
the
why would you
comments
compare
were
it to Marvel
pretty
characters? Probably
neither
way
here
easier
nor
that
there.
way.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know who. I don't know.
Mike doesn't watch Marvel.
I watch. No. I don't watch Marvel movies because I think they're stupid. I read Marvel comics a lot growing up. DC was better. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, I love me DC, but you know, we could go on for days.
Rereading
about
some
superheroes.
oldies but goodies right here. Actually, go read some Kingdom Come,
baby.
boys. It's a great comic.
So, this is the part of the podcast where I plug our TikTok. So if you're not following us on TikTok, go follow the TikTok. And also, join the Discord. Lots of good stuff. There's always good conversations. Obviously, the Tamers Battle League happens in our Discord every Friday, 7 p.m. So join if you want some good prizing. We have a metric ton of packs to give away, Volume 8 and Volume 9. So you guys can join for those prizing, as well as your chance at some sleeves and playmats. I'm still talking with the distributor about our playmats, but they will be coming in at some point, hopefully within the next, month now. By that time, it's probably going to be like the last half of the Tamers Battle League, and I probably won't even need half of the mats that I ordered, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. What else? This video, this podcast, this audio podcast, and this video podcast is sponsored by Inked Gaming. Inked Gaming is the place to get your custom playmats printed. You can get, regular size, extended size. You can get like bags, like actual bags to put your mat in. They have like wargaming mats and stuff. A lot of cool stuff you can get made custom there. If you order a certain quantity, you get a discount, and they give really good discounts based on the quantities that you order. So if you guys want to get high quality playmats printed, go check out our link, which will be in the video description when you watch this podcast, as well as our link tree, which you can find on Spotify, which is where we have all of our links. Use our link and we'll get a cut of what you purchase at checkout, and we'd greatly appreciate it because all of the profits go right back into this channel. And now we move on to week 7 of the Tamers Battle League, which saw Adachi take home his second dub with none other than the deck that won regionals, Belphemon. Adachi's deck profile has been posted to YouTube at the time of this video recording, so do go give it a check out. And by the time this video is recording, you will also be able to see what won week 8, which for us is happening this Friday, August 4th at 7 p.m. But for you guys, week 9 of the Tamers Battle League will be happening on August 11th at 7 p.m. So basically, just keep it in mind, every Friday, 7 p.m., baby. We also have a release schedule, tentative working release schedule that we uploaded. Deck profiles would be every Monday from the previous Tamers Battle League winner. The VOD will be uploaded on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, you guys will get the video podcast as normal. And on Thursdays will be some other form of content that Mike, Dan, myself, or the cumulative some amount of us will have recorded. So at the time of this recording, again, Dan will have his 19th place Shine Greymon deck profile uploaded. And as of next week, I don't know what's planned for next week. I'm not gonna lie. I have something planned, but I don't know what it is yet. So we'll work on that. We'll get there.
Well, hopefully me or Dan get an official top 16 spot, and then we can do a profile on that.
If y'all get a top 16 spot, we're doing a celebration. We're doing a celebration episode live.
Hey,
see what happens.
Live episode, right?
It's my first regional. Oh man, this is my first regional, and I don't even know how long. Nah, not ever, but very long.
When was the last time you did one?
I do feel like it's been your first one ever, right? I do think it's your first regional. It might not be your first.
You didn't do the Philly
event because I think you did the Ultimate Cup.
No,
yeah, you're right. Maybe this is the first.
I think this is your
regional
first regional. Yeah. Wow, Mike, you're about to
Scrub
break
out.
off the training wheels and fly off like a little butterfly.
Training wheels.
Yo, this man
Listen,
Before you start, we gotta get you the hype chant going. So for everybody who is listening to this, what is it? Saturday is your regionals?
Yeah, Saturday.
So on Friday night, you're not gonna hear this, unfortunate. Well, I'll do it for you right now. Mike, this is your champion. When you win, this is what I want to see you do. Michael Super.
Well, I went, if I win my first Digimon regionals, and it's my
He's gonna
first
retire.
Regional, yeah, I don't know if there's much.
He's
more
gonna
to do
retire.
after that. Take a nice break. Stop
another
buying
2-year
expensive
break.
cards. Yeah, exactly. Another 2-year break, probably.
But
No, it's
yes.
I wish there was just more online events. Like I just moved out of Philly, so now I don't really, or not online, offline events. I just moved out of Philly, so now I don't really care because I'm so far away from Philly now. But I lived in Philly for like a while, and there's nothing to do. There's nothing to go to. It sucked. I just prefer the atmosphere with in-person
It's always
events.
fun. You get to communicate and make
To meet new people. I mean, that's how we met. We met Lance at the DigiFest. That was fantastic. It was a great time.
No, it wasn't DigiFest. It was at Philly.
That is what it is.
Yeah, Philly.
Wasn't that
3v3s.
DigiFest?
No, that was
not DigiFest.
regionals.
What was that? That was.
It was too many games.
Yeah,
too many
is what the
games, but they
console.
gave out the Digimon Card Game Fest
Yeah, yeah.
packs,
Yes.
right? That's
Yeah,
what it
Yes,
was.
which is
That was,
why we were so upset with ourselves.
That was just like a thing they did because they had access or whatever, so they was giving out as participation. But we could be going to South Carolina if you guys answered. Jesus. Talking about wanting more offline. We could have done that. Could have set up buy those tickets already.
Anyways,
I don't know. I just moved.
Anyways,
Oh,
week 7,
man.
Adachi took home the trophy Belfamon. Y'all can check out his deck profile, which is available on YouTube. I don't have much to say about it because I'm not a Belfamon player. So Adachi knows more than I do. He gave some good insights. I asked him questions. He answered. So go check that out. That being said, second place is none other than the actual best deck in the format, Secon.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, right. Demonic Suicide finally climbing up in the standings after refining his Secon list and going with the absolute aggravation list. That's what I'll call it. The aggravation list. It's the list that plays itself, as we so call it. It's basically I'm gonna sit across the table from you and I'm gonna watch you play the game. And then after you play the game, I'm gonna make you regret playing the game, and then make it seem like you weren't actually playing the game. That's Demonic Suicide's latest iteration of the list.
Old school Secons.
Old
That's the
school
stuff I
Secon,
like.
Absolute degenerate
Pain in the
scumbag
butt.
Secon.
Secon.
Yes,
That's what that
Demonic. I'm calling you out for it. I'm not really. He went 201. He tied, because that's what Secon does, right? He tied against the guy who, for me, is 1-2 screens right across, Dan, because Dan was using week 7 as his practice before his regionals run. So you could say that the Tamers Battle League helped Dan place 19th, meaning that if you guys want to get better at the game, you guys should come participate in the Tamers Battle League. Because remember, one of our former winners, Nikesh, placed 4th at an Ultimate Cup in a tournament that we were running the prior Friday. So there's the correlations, baby.
Hey, Nikesh also
fucking
participated
with y'all.
in this regional as well from our Discord.
Did he?
don't know
Okay.
what
I didn't
days,
hear any
but-
responses.
Yeah, I didn't
Nikesh.
either. I'm pretty sure he did. I think I saw him at the top tables with me at the Discord thing.
But with that being said, talking about members of our community who do well, we also had Nighthawk in 15th with Hunters. So shout out to Nighthawk. Nighthawk doing very well. He went 7-1-1. Yeah, 7-1-1. And yes, so glad to see him secure his Nationals invite. We'll see if Dan's invite propagates down from people who have not gotten their invite. Time will tell that. And then
I
we'll
know
also
for
see
a
what happens
fact
this coming week at
that-
Gen Con.
One person had an invite that made top 6. So maybe there's a chance. We'll see. But I doubt it.
There is a chance. That all in mind, there's one more thing I'd like to talk about, and that is Leppy the Bear, who bought a very, very spicy Chessmon list that, believe it or not, gave Belfamon a run for its money. Now, I'm not saying that this is a deck that can be like, oh my goodness, this is a rogue deck. It's about to beat every deck out of nowhere. No. But it seemed like it was a pretty decent deck. And it's just, it's cool stuff. It's nice to see these decks that people come up with, the different deck choices. You know, it's one of the reasons we wanted to start these tournaments, because there's a lot of people who don't get to play the game locally. I mean, a lot of our community members have said it, you know, TBL has replaced their locals, or they just prefer TBL because they prefer the atmosphere of it. And that's the entire thing. We want this to be something for you guys, something that you guys can come and enjoy. Play some Digimon. You know, try not to get cheated, because we can't do everything we can to stop cheaters. The best thing I can do is, you're not cheating, are you? Because if you are, fucking kick you out of my Discord and my tournaments. But
Yeah, there you
you
go.
know,
I'm gonna say this.
Lay
I
down
think
the hammer right there, brother.
I think about
You tell
99.9% of our player base in our Discord are all honest players who wouldn't just try to cheat people out, especially
agreed.
local level type of tournament. Like, they're all pretty good people.
Yes. 110% agree with that. So they're a bunch of cool guys. So I mean, join the Discord, playing the TPL. It's a great place to be. It's growing every day, and I love to see it. Everybody is absolutely amazing. So
I don't know. I don't trust that Varney guy. I think he's cheating. So.
I know, what a scumbag. I mean, he was out here helping people win during week 6 of the Tamers Battle League.
Yeah, we did yell at you.
Talking about
right.
mandatory memory misplays. Which, speaking of, I didn't get to address this on week 7, so I'll address it now because most of our members listen to the podcast. I have made the decision that as your TO and also your judge and your commentator, that I cannot serve all 3 roles effectively. So I will still be your head judge. I will still be your commentator, and I will still be your TO, but the depth in which I get to each role will be a little bit less. So when it comes to commentating, if I'm the sole commentator, I'm the only voice you're going to hear. But if Mike and Dan are here, you're going to hear more of them than me, as I try to focus on making sure that everything's running smoothly. We have, everybody's getting taken care of, especially with judge calls. If you make a misplay on stream and I'm there and I'm watching it, I will not correct it because that's not something that I can do without crossing a gray line. So I'll say that when I had my regionals run, there was a judge watching my stream, and there was something that happened, and the judge interjected and was like, "Yeah, that's an illegal play," and we were like, "Oh, okay, thank you," and we rewound it and whatnot and so forth. But that was a judge, and they had separate commentators. So as both commentator and judge, I cannot, commentate and then also be a judge and be completely unbiased. I try to be, I never want to cheat anybody out of a win, but I don't want to make anybody feel like I'm out here trying to nudge Joe Schmo into, the top tables. Like, no, it's not my intention. Like I said, we want this to be a fair place to play for everybody. So I will tell you about your misplays afterwards, and I'll call you out for it. And I'll also call you out on stream. You should not be watching the stream while you're playing your match. Focus on your match. Come back to the stream when you're done. But yeah, I won't be interjecting in matches anymore. So to anybody who felt cheated, I apologize. That was not my intention. It's just the way that things were done for me, and I thought I'd do the same thing, but people disagree, and because of that, I just will not do it. That's the way it is.
Definitely don't be watching the stream while you're playing, especially if you guys are the ones that we are currently live streaming, because sometimes when we're commentating, we might talk about the plays we'll make, which would probably help you guys make a play, and that feels like cheating in and of itself. If we find out that you guys are watching and listening to us, we're gonna have to come up with something, because I don't think it's happened yet. I trust our community, but
it's all the things that we're me, Mike, Dan, these 3 guys right here. This is the first time we're doing all this stuff, so we're learning this as we go. We haven't been doing this for years. All we've been doing is playing the game, and now we want to give back to the community, grow our own community, and just share our opinions when it comes to the podcast and give you guys a good place to play. So everything that we do it with the best intentions at heart, but sometimes it doesn't come across that way. So that being said, now we can talk about the meta and how y'all feel. So Mike already gave the meta breakdown, so I'm not gonna go through that again. One thing I am gonna say, one thing that I noticed is this why Shine Greymon didn't win? Is it because all the Shine Greymon lists in the top 16 were playing red Koromon eggs? Is that why it didn't win?
No, I mean, I think both eggs are really good. To each their own. I don't think that there's
there's 2 things.
I don't think one egg is better than the other, in my opinion.
There's 2 things I don't like about Shine Greymon. One, if you have the whole deck is so revolved around the Tamer Marcus that it doesn't do, like, the deck doesn't do anything without Marcus. And then 2, your Shine stack doesn't do anything unless it's Marcus on board, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, that's why, like,
facts.
In my opinion, you just don't swing with Shine Greymon. There's no point. Unless you're at a point where it's like, you have something raised and you just need to swing just because you have no other play, and you're hoping to just digivolve again and rebuild another one. Like, that deck has no reason to be swinging, and so that's why I think the red egg is useless, because what are you going to do? you gonna have an egg that does nothing for you, or you gonna have an egg that at least benefits you because your Marcus is swinging. That's like my logic, I think, especially after playing heavily within the last like couple weeks so of Shine testing out, see what I like, what I don't like about the deck. Is that part about it. Like Shine Greymon is just a finisher usually. Like it's like, all right, you got the burst, swing for the last check, and then swing with like a bit with an Agumon or something, right? Like that's how I feel the deck is. So like when you don't have Marcuses, then that Shine stack or whatever you're at, Geogray, Rise Greymon, it just sits there to me because if it dies, you're in a trouble.
No, I mean I agree with you on that, Dan, completely. It's kind of why I went with the yellow egg, because you don't have to swing to activate the yellow egg's effect.
Exactly.
And the 1K comes up more often than people
much.
think, and that's what I've always been saying. I will joke and say that the yellow egg is better, but I think that if you took all of the tops from Japan and here, I think that the red egg has more tops. So take with that what you will. I like the yellow egg. That is what it is. That's.
Yeah, I mean, so it basically boils down to, what do you like? Do you like draw power, or do you want that extra 1K, which does help? I sold my Shine Greymon deck to a friend of ours, Omari, and I gave him it with yellow eggs because that's what I was trying at the moment. And he promptly took them out and went to red eggs because at his core, he is a red player and he will only play a true red deck with red base eggs. If he has to play yellow eggs, then it's not a red deck, And I mean, hey, you play what you like. I was trying the red eggs because I wanted to draw off of the Shine Gray. But then I got to a point where I was like, maybe I don't necessarily want to swing with my Shine Gray. And because I don't want to swing with my Shine Gray, it's more efficient for me to play the yellow eggs.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where if you're in the situation where you have to swing to get the draw, it becomes like an issue, because if you are already bricked somewhere along that line and then you left your stack suspended without a means to finish the game, it's probably, if you're smart, if your opponent is smart, they're getting rid of that stack immediately. So that's how I think. And also, if you depending, so because I'm not playing the red eggs, I'm not playing Agu X. I know that I think Dan was playing Agu X in his, but I'm just playing I'm playing just 4 of each red and yellow Agumon, and the EX4 Agumon has the draw one when a tamer is suspended. So I never felt like I was lacking the draw power because of that inheritable, and also because of the Geo Gray from EX4 that also has the draw one when a tamer is suspended. So I never had that I need to draw more with this deck, because there's been times where both of those have just been in my Shine stack and I just draw 2 cards whenever a tamer is suspended, once per turn obviously. So that's just been how I've been able to cycle through the deck. So far I haven't had any issues, but I definitely see the argument for red egg.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was also my train of logic. If I have to swing, I'm probably screwed. So I just said, screw it. I took out I don't like playing inconsistency, so Dan got 19th, and I mean, deck building is personal. I would never play Agu X without being able to digivolve over my red egg. It's the same issue I had with black or gray back when BT8, when I was like, they should have made this Agumon dual colored.
Hold up. There's a difference. There's a 2 big difference between that 2 situations. Every Geo Gray digivolves.
Yes,
over
I know.
That's a big difference. That wasn't the case back in the day.
It's a big difference. So and yes, you can hard play it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that if you have only an Agu X in your mulligan hand, you cannot digivolve that over the yellow base, which is my core. I don't like taking chances like that.
I was not losing because of that situation.
No, I know you're not. I know you didn't. You got 19th place. It was no discredit to you. I'm just saying, as a player, that's a deck building decision. I know. Make.
I'm saying
the third place.
I was just saying in general, and what caused me to lose. I mean, Black Hole Game was gonna do Black Hole Game things regardless. But the games were let's say I went 2-1 or something. The reason why I lost was just because I bricked really hard usually. You know what I'm saying? So that situation was never gonna get me out. That actually was gonna get me out of the break because I was gonna get the piece I need, which is the Geo Gray or something. You know what I'm saying? If I had the Agu X,
right?
Because if I get the Agu X, cool, I'll pass you 3. Then next turn, Digivolve to Geogray, play Marcus. Boom, put your opponent down to 1. And now what do they do after that? Because now I'm right, established with tempo already immediately. Now if you get rid of it, I don't have an Agumon. Hey, it is what it is type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like, it was
I mean, I wasn't disputing that.
No, I know. I'm saying like, I'm just saying in general for like people who may think like this guy is crazy. It was
yeah, I mean, he kind of is.
And then it's also a +1 if you have an Agumon. So like you go Agumon search, Digivolve for free on it, draw, search again. Like that was my whole mentality on that card, and usually that's what I did for most times.
Right, yeah, I mean, the Agu-X is definitely good for the extra draw. You know, some people run the Kudamon in the Agu-X spot, like Mike, and also Angry Aquaman, who won last week's Tamers Battle League, because it does the same thing in that it searches a vaccine, but it also searches a Tamer, which is nice. It just the problem is you lose the cost reduction on your Digievolution.
To be honest, I'm a weirdo that I'm just playing 13 rookies, so I'm still playing 4 of each Agumon. And then 1 Kudamon.
Yeah, I mean...
But I'm just weird. I've always played weird ratio of rookies. It just works for me.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't want to spend the whole time talking about Shine because I feel like it's turning into a Shine podcast. As much as I love the deck, I want to talk about some of the other decks in this meta. And one that I've been wanting to talk about is Alphamon. Because
you mean the deck that everybody is saying is better than where a lot of tier lists placed it?
Yes.
Ooh.
Because that deck pops off, honestly.
Yeah, so Alphamon, the top 16 list, he was playing Sunarisamon. So his idea was, I'm going to try to play the same OTK deck that I had before, even though I don't have it now, which is still a very valid way to play the deck. And
I believe I brought that up on the last podcast, the podcast before playing the Sunarisamons.
Can't remember, but you definitely brought it up, yeah.
That's what I'm playing in mine is Sunarisamons. But yeah, that deck's just strong still.
It still
honestly.
kills.
Yeah.
I mean, OTK is still strong, and even if, I mean, you're not expecting the OTK because, I mean, it's granted, having Sec +1 is nice because Oriumon on suspend, Oriumon on suspend, Oriumon on suspend. If you get that off, it's super nice, but obviously it's not consistent because the problem with Sunarisamon is that it's not a X antibody, so if you don't see it in like your early 2-3 hands, or sorry, 2-3 draw, 2-3 turns, then it's not the rookie in your stack, and you're not building the ideal stack. But still being able to do all the shenanigans that Alphamon does is just really good.
Yeah, I'll say, dude, when that deck pops off, it still feels just absolutely unwinnable.
Yeah,
like
I
when
think
that deck gets there, dude, it's like holy shit.
I think the big, not problem, but I think the big thing why Alphamon can just do really well is because PT13 Alphamon is just so good.
Oh yeah, that card's
so
amazing.
So good.
Actually, I was playtesting Royal Knights, and the only reason I beat the Alphamon deck I was playing against is because I thought my opening hand was a brick. I was like, this is a dud. I drew into like 3 Alphamon opening a hand, dude, and I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? And then I was like, they can't even. I was like, I can't lose because of Alphamon. I was like, they can't, right. Or you. I was like, they can't, or you can combo me, dude.
This is the part of podcast where I get to complain. I get to complain about something. I'm gonna switch Facebook comment of the week to Aya Yavarni's complaining time, because now I have something I can complain about.
Wow.
Had somebody try to tell me that Alphamon, he doesn't see why Alphamon needed to be at 3 in Royal Knights.
Card's so good. Oh my god.
And
Card
I was
so
like,
good.
Here, let me tell you why. Alphamon stops Bloom Lord from swinging at the player. Yeah, it can suspend it, so that's one thing. But piercing doesn't activate if you have the Alphamon because you bottom deck the source, prevent the removal, and then they don't get the checks. So it does the same thing. It prevents, obviously, Alphamon from doing Alphamon things. It prevents the opposing Royal Knights player from doing anything. It prevents, what other decks am I forgetting here?
Well, I mean, even if they can't even, if they bloom stun you, they can't swing the bloom.
They can, well, so it lets you swing at Digimon. So if they play the Pamu and suspend you or suspend you somehow, they can swing into your Alphamon.
Yeah, and then you bottom deck, yeah.
but you bottom deck and their piercing doesn't go through, so that's a null factor. It just stops. There's so many things play cost 10 and higher that it shuts down that deck for a turn. Shine Gray can't necessarily go for its kill turn if it can't swing Burst Mode, Shine Gray, or Ruin Mode.
Shine can pop off still. If
Shine
you have
can pop off.
If you have BT12 Shine on field, because then BT12 Shine doesn't have to swing, and then you just kill with Marcus.
No,
but
I'm just saying, like, in general, those Shines can't swing. If those were gonna deliver a finishing blow, they can't because of Alphamon. And there's a lot of other decks that shuts down. It's a floodgate. And it's a sticky floodgate.
It's
you
good.
can't remove it except by DP reduction because it's just gonna bottom deck. You can't Hunter's Tuck, Chaos Dag, delete, bounce, or anything else to it because it just says no. It's so stupid. I love it. And that's why the card is so cracked in its own deck.
Yep.
It's a good card, and it's so good in its own deck because you just have this array of sources that says, I see you try to remove me. I don't need this Dorumon anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's cracked in its own deck because the Doru Greys still prevent, like, what is the new Doru Grey prevents DP reduction?
Minus DP.
Yes.
And
it's one weakness.
it protects minus DP, right? And then the old Doru Grey still just prevents deletion or reduction of DP, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, you can just, like, the only way to get rid of it would be a Hunter Tuck or a Chaos Degrade or something. Or, what's the other one? Purple,
No, you can't Hunter Stuck or Chaos Degrade.
No, I'm saying your only other option would be to do that, but because the Alphamon is there, it stops it completely. I was trying to think of the other
freaking immune. It's so great. I love
What's the other tuck? You tuck it under a
Bagra.
purple level 6.
Bagramon?
Bagramon, yeah.
Tuck it under
It protects
Digimon?
against literally protects against everything. Cracked card.
Yeah, I love Alphamon as a card. You know what the best part about it too is? It's just like it's so good in archetype. This is one of those Digimon, like, yeah, it costs 4 to Digivolve, but like
it's a worth it.
Or even if you are, you generated enough that it's worth it, and even just for its own effect, it's worth it.
In its own deck, I mean, to be fair, in its own deck, the 4 cost isn't an issue, I feel like, because that deck sets up the memory gain so efficiently, and it has the cool boy is just going to gain you probably more than enough memory to last you the turn regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Which this what is this? What place did he place? He placed 13th.
13th, yep.
This is the way that I would play Alphamon, no lie. 4 cool boy, 3 Yuji. That's his only tamers. Like, not even a Coda, and like I just like the idea of 1 memory setter, but like it's not necessary.
That's pretty spicy right there.
It is, and I stand
Cool
by,
Boy
if you're playing Alphamon and you're not playing 4 cool boy.
Nah, it's a good deck. That's why I want to talk about it. I think it's really good. I think we placed it in contenders.
Yeah. That's the perfect spot for it to be.
We placed it behind Red Hybrid. I'd probably swap. I'd probably also move Mirage down. We placed Mirage pretty high, but
we're not going to talk about revising our tier list. We have a video to do about revising our tier list, which I don't like going on the tier list complaining rants, but I saw a tweet, so I have to talk about it. I saw a tweet today that said, basically that people overshot the meta and that they undershot it, and that Shine Greymon wasn't as good as people made it out to be, and that Belphamon is the best deck, and blah blah blah, and all sorts of stuff. But I'll just say this: I said it before, and I'll say it again. If you're not doing multiple,
hold up, wait a minute. For anybody that says that, you should go check out the definitive tier list that we made, because that was 90% accurate of what we thought. Because we know the game of Digimon, right? So y'all should go check out that YouTube video real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, what can I say?
It was pretty close for sure.
What can I say? I mean, we're just a couple of guys doing a podcast and have a channel where we like to talk about this game. If you guys are, our listeners are fine. So like, this is more for you to yell at other people if you feel like yelling at other people. Do your tell them to go do their research. Nobody should be complaining about tier lists. because no tier list is like the single most truest source that you shouldn't watch anybody else. No tier list is 100% correct. We definitely are not correct. You know, we just had a podcast last week where we revised the tier list. It's just
on the more
we have a video
jank
coming
list,
where we will
but
redo it.
I think we was pretty accurate on what like the top tier decks, the top, you know,
what
10,
did I
decks
say
are.
was going to be the meta defining list? It was going to be Shine Greymon and Royal Knights, and they're meta defining because if you don't play around them, they're going to you up. Royal Knights is the perfect example of that.
It literally
What did
doesn't
Belphamon win by?
if-
Psychmon.
Yeah, exactly, right? But it doesn't even matter what Shine plays against. Shine is going to do Shine things. If you don't know how to deal with it, you'll GG scoop it up next game. And same with Royal Knights. If you don't know how to play
Or if you play
that
against a
deck,
bad player, because that's a big thing.
but same thing with Royal Knights, right? Like if you don't know how to deal with that deck, GG scoop it up next game. You know what I'm saying? Or if you get lucky and the Royal Knights player just see a single Omnimon, which sometimes it happens. But that's why that's why I think the Belphamon player won, because he knew what his matchups were. He knew everything in the game. He knew how to pilot his own deck to perfection, and that's why he won.
Damn. I wanted to say this earlier, and I don't know why I completely forgot it. I just wanted to add on to what you were saying, Dan. I agree. If you're playing in a regional, if you're playing a competitive level event, you need to know what the decks do. You don't need to know what each card does, but you need to know what the decks do. I shouldn't be sitting here reading you my effects. If you need clarification, that's fine. Also remember, like there's, at least to my knowledge, there's no rules against looking up cards. And frankly, it's an online event. There should not be a rule against looking up cards. You should be able to pull, you should have, in my opinion, because I do this. And so if I'm going to get DQ'd for this, then so be it. Because I just fucking give us in-person events then. You should have DigimonCard.dev open. And when you see a card, you should be looking that card up so that you know what it does. Because
I do that shit during playtesting, bro.
Hell yeah, exactly. You have
That's the
to.
perfect time.
Because
That's the perfect
sometimes
time
it's
to
as
do
little
that.
as missing an effect. You know, like BT13
I do it all the
Marcus, for
time, like, 'cause
example.
I don't trust Mike's
I was teaching.
wording.
Hey, yo. Is it because we're Yu-Gi-Oh players? We don't know how to read?
That's exactly
Y'all didn't hear it
why.
here. Y'all said it yourself.
Exactly why.
I swear
we
to
came
God,
from that,
bro. If you played Yu-Gi-Oh,
wild, wild world.
it does something to your brain. Bro, you play Yu-Gi-Oh and it I swear it messes with your brain and you forget how to read cards properly sometimes. It's weird.
Yo, it's so facts.
You gotta have
Facts.
it open. Go look up the cards, bro. It's so easy to forget effects or not know what they do. And there's an easy way to fix that. DigimonCard.dev, have it open. And if somebody asks what you're doing, I'm looking up your card. Well, I can read it to you. No, I'd just like to know for my own knowledge. If they call a judge, so be it. If they're a judge that's gonna fucking dick you over for looking up a card, I don't know. You probably just weren't meant to play in that event anyways. That's how I look at it. Because if I'm gonna be DQ'd for that, then fucking DQ me.
I
bro.
would say that it might not be allowed only because they don't know what you're actually doing on your computer, right? So like what if you're like typing on your computer, they could think that you're messaging someone to ask for like play.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
You could.
So I
you
would
could
say
be
they
taking
probably
notes.
don't allow it.
But like it's the same thing. I see people pick up their phones all the time, and I pick up my phone. Now I pick up my phone and I'm like this. Granted, you know, that's if I'm like just sweeping the match and I'm not really paying attention to what my opponent does because I know I'm gonna win. But you know, I do think that you should be allowed to have DigimonCard.dev up. Yu-Gi-Oh! Just I think you're allowed to have some official Yu-Gi-Oh! App when you're playing at Yu-Gi-Oh! Events. And so I just my thing is that
because in
online
the
webcam events.
The difference between Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh! You're allowed to use different language cards. So like if you're in like
really?
NA, you're allowed to use like European, German cards and stuff, and then so people have like the translations or the Yu-Gi-Oh! App or whatever with you. So you're allowed to do that. That's why.
Yeah, so like, and I know that note taking is not allowed in Digimon.
Yes,
So like, that's what I'm saying. Like it might, like you probably shouldn't, like you probably aren't allowed to look up things because I don't know if they would consider it note taking if you had, you know what I mean?
I know, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, you know, I'm defending, or more specifically, I'm arguing for in-person events. If you want to fucking stop this shit, then fucking give us the in-person events. You circumvent this whole issue to begin with. Like, I just think if we're playing in an online event, I'm gonna look up your card. And if you have a problem with me looking up the card, call a judge. We'll let the judge determine where it goes. Like I said, if you're gonna DQ me, fucking DQ me, because I'm not necessarily gonna take your word, because you may read me the effect wrong. You may, there's so much things that can go wrong, and I don't trust you, straight up.
Now one thing that they could do to circumnavigate this is Magic does something for like online webcam play with friends and stuff. It's called Spell Table. It's officially sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. They made it themselves, and it's a webcam. You still use your own cards, everything like that, but it actually has built into it is a feature where you can click on a card, and it'll actually pull up through the library what that card is and the effects of it.
This is an application?
This is an online application, yeah.
You know, Ben, I don't even want to give us a fucking online client.
But it has a built-in card identification system, so like you can literally instead of having to ask cool. Someone all their effects and shit, you can literally just click on their card. You know, you don't have to Google their card or anything. You just click on it and it'll pull up the card on the side of the screen so you can read what it does. It's great for me because I don't live close to a lot of my friends anymore, and we still like to play Commander. So that is so great for me because it's so annoying to be in like a 4-person Commander pod and just like every time someone plays a card, you're like,
what does it do?
What does that do? Because Magic has like over 17,000 cards at this point. I am not remembering every single fucking one. That's just not happening. You know, maybe if I was born in 1993 when the game came out and I played every single day since, I would know. But that's a slim chance, you know?
You know, I agree. That brings me right back to the original point. You know, you don't need to know what every card does, but have an idea what the deck does. Because competitive level play, I expect more. I do. I expect a hell of a lot more. And people who join competitive level play, I don't want to hear you complain that you have to know what cards do, because you're entering a clearly competitive event. Like you exited the casual realm. You're playing with people who want to go for the top tables. Respect that. Respect those people and their decisions. I don't want to hear arguments about how I'm just a casual player who wanted to dabble. No, you know this is what we're going for. You know the people are paying money to compete. Like it's I don't know. Just wanted to chime that in because I felt that was a valid point that you made.
Back to your tweet, right? Sean Ray won a regional. Sean is topping. So if people are overshooting, I'm not really sure how that's, you know, a thing. The only
he
one
called it BTA Imperial.
There's only one deck that's been overshot per se, and I think it's Mirage, because Mirage is trash.
Mirage is garbage. I don't want to say that.
It's not
actually
trash.
I kind of do want to say that.
It's underperformed, and I think there's a big reason for that. It's because we don't have the in-training cards. And so people
that would be reason number one.
They're not as fast, and they can't gain tempo as fast as like Shine can. So like when they do their combo is really
why aren't they as fast, Dan?
Because they don't play free tamers as easily as Shine. That's what you've been saying for the longest.
Thank you.
But like if they get to their combo, they can just, you know, combo you to that GG's, right? But like sometimes they do, and then it's like that's it. And so if you have the retail to it, then they can't do anything, because if you get rid of that stack is gone. There's no really big chance of coming back.
Yeah, I will say though, Mirage is one of the worst. For the July 29th regional that just happened, PPG did the breakdown of the most popular decks based on the meta. And then the win rates that were in it, and Mirage had a 47.4% win rate against the meta. And it had, but also, I mean, Greymon Toolbox had a 47.4% win rate. but I would take that with a grain of salt because Greymon Toolbox literally means every single fucking.
It means
Black
I
War
couldn't
Gray,
decide
War
if I
Gray
wanted to play
Act,
Black War Gray or War Gray, so I threw it all in one deck.
Yeah, like it includes Gaiomon, Black War Gray X, Greymon X, blah blah blah. I'm sure if they were separate, it would be because then there's a separate box for Greymon, and it just says Greymon All.
Exactly.
Yep, and Greymon All says 50.3%. And then Shine Greymon by itself has a 50.7% win rate. So interesting enough, Royal Knights has the highest at 60.7%. I think that one of the reasons why it did so well, it doesn't have, it's like right in the middle of, I'd say like between the most decks represented and the least decks represented. It's right in the middle. It's also a more expensive deck to play than the others. If you're just playing the base rarity of all of the decks, Royal Knights is going to be the most expensive.
Yes.
And I think that might be why. But yeah, it's interesting. Check it out. We can just include it in the description, I guess, of this episode.
Nah, y'all should join the Discord because it'll be in the Discord. We
All
talked
right,
about it in
join
the Discord, actually.
I think also
You'll have seen it on Facebook as well.
It leads to the fact that people, once again, they weren't know what decks do. They knew what Royal Knights did, but they didn't know what it really does. They don't know what each Royal Knight does.
They didn't know how Omnimon could really cute.
Yeah, again, you go into the regionals, you don't know what cards does. It's a problem. Like you gotta know what's happening.
It's a versatile deck too.
Very.
I like Royal Knights. I like that you can do some cool interactions with it. Like I like just I don't know. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. Like Genkumon, I like Genkumon so much in that deck because you can like Genkumon, reduce the cost of the Genkumon, play the Genkumon, take out the Leopardmon from the take out the Leopardmon, play the Leopardmon, reduce the cost with Leopardmon, play like a Magnamon, and then you just have like 3 Royal Knight bodies on board.
Bro,
like,
I've had cool 5 bodies on board off of like 1 Purge and Genkumon. Like it's stupid. I don't know how I did it, but like it's just like wow. For a deck that, you know, Yggdrasil sucks all these sources underneath, I just spit out 5 bodies. Good luck getting through my shields.
Hey, and then after that, right?
Yeah,
it just gets sucked up, and then you just go.
It's a lot of fun to play too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's fun to play. Trying to think. One of the weird so like looking at this list, like since we're doing the meta breakdown, Blue Flare, which is a good deck, 50.2% win rate. It has probably one of the worst win rates I think I've ever seen on these breakdowns, which is a 6.7% win rate against Bloomlord.
That's nuts.
That's so funny because, like,
now take that with a grain of salt.
Right, you would think Blue Flare would like that's like food for them because Bloom is all about going wide, and Blue Flare is like, yeah, you go wide, I stun your board, and you know, unsuspend and stun more and stuff. That's just so funny to me.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
15 matches played. Like that's a good bit. That's what
I mean. Like 15 matches.
Like 5 different, or no, 15 games. So that's like 5 matches.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's wild. I don't know. It's very interesting though. I would expect Blue Flare to have like a crazy high, like 70% win rate against Bloom.
You know what it is? It must be Quartzmon.
Quartz. Yep, I was thinking the same thing. Quartz.
Yeah.
Yep. Quartz.
You can't unsuspend. You can't do anything. I lock you down. You don't lock me down, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're like, I don't know. But that is such a low win rate.
That one's funny. Balfamon with a 77.8 win percent. I think that's the highest for any individual deck against Bloomlord, which is a no-brainer. Only 9 games played, but it's kind of a no-brainer.
No, that's
because it just it feels like food, right?
It's also interesting to me how, like, I know like win percentages and stuff is how they get it, so it's pretty like straightforward. But like Raymond Toolbox having a 39.4% win rate against Greymon all is hilarious.
Yeah, that is.
But
funny.
it just reinforces. It reinforces my point that like I never liked mixing, you know, Raid War Gray with Black War Gray. Like, yes, it's a good card, but like I'd rather play Raid War Gray the deck or Black War Gray the deck. Because Black War Gray is so good. Black War Gray X is good. Gaiomon is good. It just, for me, like I know it got tops the last two formats. Well, you know, format and a half, whatever you want to call it. But I personally never agreed with it. It just felt weird. I'm out here running Black War Gray and Black War Gray X, and then here's like the two Raid War Gray. Like, good card, but what is it doing for your strat? Maybe it was good for the meta. It's not good for this meta. Like, I would love to see, I know there's other charts. I'm not gonna bring them up right now because I don't feel like looking for them. I would love to see like Raid War Gray win percentage against other decks compared to Black War Gray, because theoretically speaking, Black War Gray is the Greymon deck to play this format.
I'd like to see the Hunters breakdown. I'm sure that there is a chart out for it, but yeah. Actually, I think I just found it. Let's see.
Yeah, Hunters is another one. Like people were saying that we undershot that on the tier list. It was the only deck that it should have been ahead of was what's it called? Well, at this point now, probably both Mirage and Beelzemon. But when we made the tier list, definitely ahead of Beelzemon. We thought Mirage was gonna at least have a chance because it has access to Surai and it's a blue deck, and blue decks are still good. But it's just compared to Blue Flare that has Blazing Memory Boost.
I think I was getting hung up on the fact that Hunters had such a hard time against Beelzemon even after the Beelzemon nerf, which is, I think I kind of ended up pushing it behind Beelzemon. Looking back, I would change that. But yeah, Hunters did great. Looking at the breakdown, it actually had a 54% overall win rate, but it didn't go through it has a smaller sample size compared to decks like Shine, Mirage, Greymon, Romance, etc.
Yeah, because there was only
playing.
12 Hunters in this tournament.
Damn.
And then I told
So in other words,
I think it was the
it had a good conversion rate.
Yeah. In the podcast that Mike left, remember Varney, I was like, Hunters is still a really good deck.
Yep.
Hunters is going to be around. Hunters.
Oh no, yeah.
No, I was stating that I think it's better than what we put it. So like, I don't know if you like listened to that pod at all, Mike, the one that you were missing on. I was just saying like, it doesn't have a bad matchup to really anything outside of Black War Greymon. Really, if you think about it, just because Hades 4 is Black War Greymon, blah blah blah, right? That it's probably going to do well into the meta just because like it has one of the most unstoppable things by tucking anything outside a couple cards, right? Belfmon, Alphamon, I think those are the two main ones at the moment in our current meta. And it kind of shows,
Belfa,
right?
Alpha,
You have
and kind of Roll Knights in a way.
Yeah. It kind of showed in this like regional, right? It was two that top. It was the 5th place and the 2nd place, and then 15th place. Or was that a third one? I forget. There was a third one, I think, in there that made top 16.
I think there was 3 total tops.
Yeah, 3 total tops.
I don't know how correct the list I'm looking at is, but Raid Greymon has 100% win rate into the other Greymon all decks somehow, which seems ridiculous.
That does seem very ridiculous. Doesn't seem right. But I mean, hey, whatever.
But no, I'm pretty happy with this meta.
The thing I had said to Dan about like where Hunters is, and my like what I told everybody was that it's not a slight to Hunters as a deck, but look at the decks that it's behind. Maybe Raid War Grey could get pushed back a little bit, but it's still a deck that has access to Hades Force. So inherently, it needs to be like somewhere on the same level as Black War Grey for me. Just that Black War Grey is just a better control deck. But Balfamon? It ain't better than Balfamon. Mirage? Yeah, it's probably better than Mirage now. But back then when we were making it, wasn't better than Mirage. We didn't think. Blue Flare? Yeah, you can tuck under. I mean, sure, yeah, you can tuck them under the Tamers or their Digimon. I don't think Blue Flare cares. It's the same thing with like Cross And then Beelzemon. I mean, that's like we said, that's the only one that was going to go ahead of. It's perfectly positioned. It's at the right spot. You know, the entire contender meta. And I do still think Red Hybrid's a good deck. It can do things. But there's a lot of decks now that have like good defensive presence that weren't necessarily present in the last format. Royal Knights is capable of doing stuff defensively. Weirdly enough, Shine Greymon is capable of doing stuff defensively. And if you play Red Hybrid into Shine Grey, you could most likely get wrecked defensively because of the BT13 Shine Grey with the BT13 Marcus. That's a potent combo. It's a 9k neg. That means a Flameon's gone.
Plus
and it means you're like negging 9k on a Takuya. Yeah, right. Plus a memory gain. And it means you're negging like 9k on a Takuya or some hybrid that, sure, they'll be at like 10k, but they don't have jamming, so they're dying, you know? I think there's just a lot more defensive presence, so maybe Red Hybrid is a little bit up there in terms of like where we put it. But hey, at the end of the day, I'm happy with this tier list. This tier list is pretty on point, all things considered, in my opinion at least. And the people can argue with me about the Ulforce pick, or argue with Dan, because I think it's off of Dan where we put Ulforce. But you know, this tier list, pretty good. Nighthawk, that's just for you, baby. We did another tier list revision podcast.
Hey,
just
also,
for you. Don't worry, we have
U-Force,
more of those to come.
I had said it was like, I think we threw in the Rogue
Ulforce had a top.
category. I mean,
Rogue,
you said it. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if you see like 1 or 2 top every once in a while. So I mean, again, it did what it did. Like we saw the one top.
What is it playing? It is only.
It's your
doing
generic.
what Ulforce does best.
Your generic U-Force
with 3 Surai.
Crazy, yeah.
It's a blue deck.
That was the only thing.
That was like. That was my biggest thing about why we put Mirage where it was, because it has Surai. It's like saying, well, a lot of purple decks are good because they have native access to Psychmon. Yes, correct. If you have native access to Psychmon against Royal Knights, a lot of people are calling it like the gatekeeper deck. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat Royal Knights. Good luck, GG. What else was up here? We had the blue flare top, but only one. But again, I think this meta was just so nicely diverse. And I mean, we're talking about this as if this is the first one that we had, but realistically, you know, I totally forgot Oceania had an event. So to Dan's point, we had a whole other event where it was kind of the same thing. Like, yes, we saw 5 Shine Gray, but then we saw 2 Mirage, 2 Greymon Tribal, 2 Bloomlord, 2 Red Hybrid, an Alphamon, a Royal Knights, and a Machine Dramon. So it's not even like we were that off, because there's the Red Hybrid top. Machine Dramon, we have in Rogan Sleeper. Royal Knights, doing Royal Knights. Alphamon, Alphamon is good. Bloomlord.
No, we have Machine
Do we
Dramon.
know how many overall players there are?
No, it's not. It's in Rogan.
No, it's not.
Oh, is it?
Machine
Oh,
Dramon.
okay.
It's a top of
thought we had it
Sleeper.
at
I'm
the
pretty
bottom.
sure Sleeper are real great.
414 players.
No. I mean, like, overall, do we know that between the Japanese meta and the like NA meta, who has more players?
It has to be English, right?
I don't know, because Japan meta, doesn't that include like all of the Asian
Singapore.
countries?
It includes all of.
So it's like,
so it's weird because like Singapore, for example, like they're English native speakers over there, but they play the Japanese card game and they like might collect or play the English version. And then there's like the other Asian countries. But think about the English version, which is the entirety of Canada, Canada, United States, Mexico, all of Latin America, and all of Europe.
Yep.
I think just by sheer numbers, we outnumber Japan.
okay.
Yeah, it's literally 2.
That's what I would think.
I think
That's-
it's only 2 languages for card games, Japan and like the English. I might be wrong. Yeah, I think China
There's a Chinese
has
version.
Yeah,
card
Chinese.
game.
The Chinese.
So like, just inherently, there's gonna be more English.
The
players.
Koreans might be getting their own version as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Do
I
they-
think I might have seen something about that.
Here's another off-topic question: do they censor cards in Japan, or not Japan, China, more than other places?
I don't know, because we don't get much of the Chinese announcements.
I would love to see if they alter a lot of the art over there, because I remember I only say that because like back when I played World of Warcraft heavy, because I'm a loser, and in World of Warcraft the undead in China when I was growing up weren't like bones and stuff, because it like went against like some weird laws in China. I don't remember. So like things were censored way more heavily over there. So I would love to see like some like if in China the like cards are different. I would love to see what their arts look like. Just like how we got like noir censored here. You know what I mean?
You know what's something else I noticed from what you from this infographic you sent? Belphemon has a 73.3% win rate against Mirage. Now that to me is surprising because I imagined that Mirage had a very, very good matchup into Belphemon because Belphemon won 6 cards or less in hand. And Mirage is like, well, I'm going to give you more cards.
As
but
the
15
Belphemon
games
player
played,
here,
about 5 matches.
As the Belphemon player, the native Belphemon player, and us 3 right here, I can say that's totally that. It's probably like more like 50-50, but it's really pilot oriented matchup because if you know like how to get your cards low as the Belphemon player, you're gonna smack the Mirage player, and then vice versa, right? If you know how to make sure your opponent can keep their cards high as the Mirage, you could probably smack them too. But like, I just think it's a very player oriented, and I think it's easier for you to get your cards lower than your opponent forcing you to draw. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense, especially if you don't have free tamer play.
Wait, how did you say it, Varney? Did you say what you said that Belphemon had a 73% win percentage against Mirage? You read it the wrong way.
Did I misread it?
It's the other way around. That's why I wanted to correct that.
That was completely wrong. Yeah,
yeah. I was gonna say it has a bad matchup into Mirage.
It does have. Okay,
chart.
so I take back everything that I initially said. But to Dan's point,
I didn't.
To Dan's point, if it shows,
my point is still valid. It's more.
I was gonna say to Dan's point, we did still see Belphemon win. I don't think he played any Mirages.
He did.
I don't know if he did,
he played one.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't remember.
He posted on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm not certain.
He won.
That. But Dan said he played against one, so we'll go off of that. So I was wrong. It's 73.3% win rate against Belphemon. And I want to correct something I say before people come at me. I just said that Mirage doesn't play his tamers for free. Yes, I know that BT13 Gaogamon plays it for free if you don't have one in play, and the BT13 Mirage plays one for free when an effect adds cards to an opponent's hand, but it's not as consistent as Shine Gray. It is not. That is a fact. There is a reason Shine Gray is the beat if and Mirage is not. That being said, yeah, Belphemon is... It's funny because they don't even have like the percentage there. Or is it? Am I not seeing it? Okay, there it is. Yeah, Belphemon is 26.7% win rate against Mirage, which makes more sense because I would figure it has the worst matchup.
Yeah, I found George's post.
He even said himself he felt like that match is more 50-50 and it's just pilot oriented. And I definitely agree with that too. That's why I said it previously.
Go ahead, Mike. What's the matchups?
So it was round 1 Yellow Hybrid, he 2-0'd. Round 2 was Royal Knights, he 2-0'd. Round 3 was Royal Knights, he 2-0'd. Mirage, he was 2-1 against. Shine 2-1, Shine 2-1, Shine 2-0, Royal Knights 2-1.
Damn. Talk about the gauntlet. Yes, no discredit to him, but gosh damn, Psychmon probably won him all of those Royal Knight matches. Because, I mean, especially in Belphemon, because Belphemon can just keep recurring. Out the Psychmon. Oh my goodness, yeah. What a terrible way to die. Psychmon cucking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good card.
That is why I am playing so much more removal in my deck, because I'm not going to get cucked by a little Psychmon. But with that being said, we're an hour and a half into pod. Call it for today. Do I want to ask Mike if he has any parting words today? I don't know. Dan, any parting words?
Go ahead, Mike. Just say. You know you want to.
We're going different, boys. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say
Get good, scrub. And that's it for
Slap it
today's
before
episode.
you slap it before you wrap it, baby. We getting crazy.
Hey, yo. That's probably what I was about to say. Like, just get good.
And that's it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast, hosted by DigiGuard United. This intro or outro is going to be extra long for no reason at all. So if you're still listening at this point, this is the part of the podcast where I tell you to join the Discord, follow us on Twitch, TikTok, and other social media platforms that you are on. Peace out.
Peace.
Hey, yo, catch you on the next one.